Action. Emra TV XYZ so anope baby a obia. Na Abranaa adwumadi so sabre e de kosise nundu bebo de ahye de abrɛ memenda no kɔ na wie sa na se memenda na hyase na no ade kyea nsɛm de esisi duada ebisi fiada ye kabom ne asone so kama baabi esefata se ade brɛhwɛ ho ne ahwem baabi esefata se ade nkyeremu ne ade baabi ente ase no ne apenti ase de afiri ho medini Agya Wusu ansa anope kan ho na afi yemfa Abranaa so dwumadi no emrɛ sabre ade kɔ anope nkomo ebekɔ so no yebenya nimdifo a obeboaye no mani bi ho a ebetime bi so kakra na afi yenye ho ntiase na otwe mu pi na akoso de akoso ni bi no ebi ho a court nkomo ebi nso so ho a aban mu nhyehyɛ ebi nso ho a mano ne nyina aka ho bi but quickly de ekobae na otwe mu bi ye bobɔ so kakra nkrata na ebekom de di mu akotene pa no the finance minister ora ato force enya akwanya ekopie mu omrahye bi da fie afe no mu no budget ana minor com masika no ode breye na edu mfimfini a baabi a ya bobra na du com masika no oba nese ensakrae kakra wo ma no wa me ate ho ase de ehya ase no baabi a ye de akwa akoduro se de susu ye ya ben ho fi se afe no ene ya chem no se ya ben ho se ye me ho baabi etosini na afi yahwe atoto aminate magina na so na we no budget na chi ono ankasa series of interviews akoso a wodi mu nkomodie enso so atodwa budget na buy no na yesi aban spend aban no as on spend but in this very budget you won't say yes ye kasa de na so expenses aban we spend pa eno achi yesi eto a yesi Ghana fotua no yeto no ye fakwati kwan so ne ya doge do hamu nchichemu anabu pebes ye dusia 60% bi o ha eno de ni nyina enwunu kwa aban ni nyaka ho a kabema ni sikasem enso so atimi akoso baabi a inflation da baabi a GDP da ni nyina no budget na ma ye hu so far ene wona ebeka se nka ohia buburo mu baabi a ogina budget na hyase ebesisise mre no enipa etinye yi wo mu afri baabi a na ogina no afri sai hia buburo nim akogina mpempen so foforo ni nyina no pay eka ho ya hyehye ai de bro budget no se eba nesa opeso hu se mfasodie bi o ma ansa betumi aka de se wankasa odi abotre na ahwe budget no to bo asikum baabi esa onya ade afri no so obenya ade afri inflation ya ka ho asem exchange rate ni nyina ho nkomo budget no ya hyehye ne kama anopay ya begibre na afi ahwe na budget na basa eden a bibe tutum kakra baabi o ho a ebia ebetumi akasa hakoyi ankoyi nti finance minister reading ni de ewie no minority side nso ekodina simpi so baabi o musu se ebia ho mo ne aban ne nya adwena na ankoyi no eno so omukobo mutuo kakra ewie akire na the former deputy finance minister ye mame Abranaa sorry akwa kochire say good board dwedie bi e course no yade but quickly good board responsive enough at the explanation and nsɛm a the minority side o mu kan no aba betoto ho pepepe say bibia ne ho a ehu if say at the end of the day profit a good board nyan no eno kan ho bi na Ghana sikasem etimegina na so anope ye no wa ha bi de ohwesisi a ye say akwan hodo ai koso through the budget enya say government at deposit 1.7 billion dollars ewasa Accra Kumasi expressway no so dia fogu kwan so a omoye adwuma ebo kwan atum ehun sika ye twa to ebi no nti sika da ho a sa adwuma no ebetumi aye ndi wo ha per the finance minister de buy no na che say economy no ye say a sound recovery if you say Ghana yeto anase ekai de kwan ye fa so ye tua ye service no edane kwan mu pepepe ba ni nyina chi no minorities there bi aban gains awaka ho asem no enye sanity dia no pe budget no begibre na afi yakompa eno achi na otwe mu nso so no ekoba se ahyase no kona ene ete se court order and as a court decision and as a court ruling I by said the Ashanti regional chairman se say kra de nkoko as national chairman of the New Patriotic Party. Chairman untumi Bernard Ntwibosi akone efre say the sentence by. Na the sentence ne by no kofa efuma gudi a okotu no baabi to say Sama boy. One ono ye omu ye adwuma no bi ene gina Abranaa di adanse e di tia no sampa adwuma no sa ne course pepepe. Mining Act no fufuro ya nyame ya adoma aban na otwa mu ye no se nya de so nsa kwa be fa so abepie no e be den pa nti per the ruling ene the judge e de beto edwa no na say shema untumi watomra mra na wato no sentence I da ho enye se bia judge na ebo ni trim na aka Mining Act krona ahye mfie a obeto sam mra na odie nipa na nya kra no na nya mfie dunum nti between mfie dunum ekosi mfie no aduonum between 15 to 25 years judge na say court nimbie mu ne wisdom mu no ehun say chema untumi say ye mano 20 years the 20 years ni mu no actually the finance minister ko ready budget kra yi no chanting a minority ye say free untumi but I know the say embuki court no nti anopai eno so sankomo no ho a ebehwe na afi ye dim nkomo. The question is chema untumi say illegal mining na emra na di no fair enough say mra na ye adwuma kroma ye problem ba ko ye nya no say Ghana emra nya adwuma nti mra na di na eno wano na won eguso amanfo gusu ku bush omoye galamsey ade kro say ni city say mra na kasa da bia kasa ne ochna adechie sa na ye pe no nti anopai ehun komo a ye beje bre wona ebe gina akira atwa ya mpia de ye omudie eno ho eno achi dia akoba ne se nanu ansuo toye na eyiri fa nkrofo amanfo agapade ebi fa mu wuye no ehwe won kwa no Ghana aban twa sika to se yemfa moa na afi wona eho kire wo mu na so mo kire wo mu no yemfa nko mu moa miame ahodo na ba bia ese yi gata ba bia ese tim ni ade no eno so sa exercise ne nkoso make us say eguso eno so mpanyifo gina mu amana timi abam eno so na insan anope mebo video bi a kire se okokononwo a kononwo nye kura ye fa mfikyire na ekọ kononwo ye kura da kwa ho na kroma mpanyifo a etwemu ewo Accra Kumasi road bi dru kononwo mu se yes kuro na da ho no ya se no nyese ya se no kekewu ye guso ese no ye tutu kuro no mu ntokuro sama a chese ogro ho abeto amana mu kura wu sese akwa akoduru efie pe nkrofo fie ena nkrofo eye galamsey na akokoduru omunya ede galamsey na nafom nti se emwa bia afiri bia ama na sa aban ntimi emwa kromofo sese no omare so tutu biabo ti omukuto motion up nkosua ena omakwa bro sa galamsey fo ni wia. But the question is eno ye solution na galamsey na bi na e ya chema untumi koi so sa nkrofo na omu wo konongo na krom pe amanfo fie omu di galamsey no sa fo no mu ye hwan omu ye above the laws of this country ana omu de etinye galamsey e kromu na da ho nyina no ye be kono ye nim krofo mu ye adwuma ni nyina e ye ntimi nka hwe ye ntimi nya hwe konongo kro ne nsei aban be se nanu ensuo to ye sama boy kro ni nyina sei ensuo kofie bia mu ne se ko keke etu nkrofo ni nyina afiri kro ni a nkrofo adan etete ensuo ani sa dan we ensuo na twe for how long ene nkrofo betimi akwakoten e save mpo se kro no sama boy kro no nkrofo ese yebetena ba bia ensuo yiri fine na eni gina amanfo asa atiesim galamsey no moye nti aban sika na otwae no se adwuma na ekoe no aban be sa atena ho ma konongo nso kro no ni nyina asei na da achi bi aban asa akwa sika si ye fa nkoko ye kro na because see an individuals bi enedi sa abone ne gisika ne gu mbotom adenti na ye be ma obi enam kwati kwan so akonye sika de agu no botom no nko akodi na achiri ya ba betwa man ni nyina sika say de ko akwa akwachichiri kro anopay yebusa ho asem Ghana na ye nyina ye dia saa na ye na ne akɔ saa no saa na ban kotwa sika fufuo bi sɛ ɔde kɔ akɔyɛ galamsey ɔde kodua nua ɔde kwa whatever we krom pɛnyɛ forest kro nenka ya boda ya jimi abodam kra no to the extent say ye bɛyɛ galamsey no ofie na nkrɔfo dan ase yetutu na ye nyina ye hu ye police for konongo bia na for konongo soldier for twam enye kura ɛhyɛ kokoam na kroni nyina ye jai si ense ni nwie na aban se ntwe ska nkoya ene ayete so ne ya pampa so enebo your other issue back so say South Africa president na eja my bi so ana kru bi so president nti no mani bi ho a ye benya abotre kakra ne ahwe no egu so patch say Africa country other Africa countries no sanctions so mo dey ma South Africa no emu oden aban hwe anasa o mampanyin John Dramani Mahama enhwe no mu ntimi ntoto saafo no a mo de sanctions ma South Africa no sorry sanctions ni mu ye den na sanctions e mu den a wo sere to so sanctions no wo de na yo no okro mo no muguso a police fo gina ho na ye bo nkrofo so the question is DNS anopay we nyina kan obi ensem ne dɔso abedwafo ne beba ye de ne nyina abre odie na mu we eye enianimu emobɔso ena medical de abai me twamo aba abedwafo ne beba na ye de the issue on board bite na ho no yet me dia ma Abranaa so ye ba sisia.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural. For bulk purchase, call 0596 273 546 or 0596 273 547. This advert is FDA approved.
Stay back and stay safe. National Petroleum Authority ebo bibia kokose se fuel tank enya kwenhia na edane a menko ho nkwaye wadwen se onkosesa petrol ana fango no na afenso menye wadwen se wo ben fuel tank enya kwenhia ne ho akwa kodwetwa videos ana pictures na petrol ana fango wo hwenso ohua ko wo mu a enye sunsu asobone ewo apomoden semso fango nso eho ahometinti no enfomso akitu ebi ebetumi ameja tom ama na gise ewom eba ne saa nipa dodo timi femu hihye ehwe mo nkwa emeja pade dodo na nso esei aya fredum je adwumayefo ana posifo no mo mehwe nso ano wutumi nso efre National Petroleum Authority ewo 0302 550 380 kaise wonkwa wo hoi eho hia bebre esen sa fango no kokoboi National Petroleum Authority ene de bro.
Peace of mind is very essential in your journey to success. For Akwesi Papa, peace of mind means having a proper covering over his family. Literally. For Araba, aka Injection Mama, it's about having the funds to complete her advanced nursing course. And as for Corporal Odami, it's as simple as reporting on time for his shifts. Sometimes all you need is a simple push. At Needs Microfinance, we have tailor-made loan packages for salaried workers under the Controller General's Department. With the low interest rate and quick wahala-free process, you are guaranteed of a timely solution to get back that peace of mind, literally in 30 minutes. Needs Microfinance. Growing with you.
Welcome to AutoCheck Vehicle Diagnostic and Licensing Center.
I hear my car can be checked here without going to Accra.
Sure.
Emission, check.
Alignment, check.
Brakes, check.
Visit AutoChecks at Koforidua Aquadrum Road for the roadworthiness of your vehicle, from saloon cars to heavy-duty industrial vehicles. Madam, your car is now ready for the road.
Thank you so much. Auto checks.
Check.
AutoChecks, your safety, our priority.
Check, auto checks.
Yama hwefo akwa ba na afia no pe nto aso mfemfe ankomo kakra ho ye de ni na be hye mama na afia bedwafo no akan ho yetimi din kitawdi no enso ato aso de ama social media handles ni bia abeko no wo share na do comment na to ya no asa share page na account afia se de be ya adofo we chichini bench enso betimi aten kana afia no pa no na asa no pe nkomodi no etime wie pe but so say videos ni bi are available moma me bi na afi nkomo kakra ho no yemfa nhyehyem na ehu enema ne bi ho a eba ya na edika eseti de etian se aban per revenue de nanso mostly enumako no bi ho a wo man kasa ekwan mo fa so ewi wo cash ekwan mo fa so spend cash enumako ni mu no se etnas ni eja ne se a echese Ghana is not a serious nation. Bosumi bia quarterly bia ho a ni abase ECG for say on person moton kanem ye be kosoro be ba form ye benya PRC ono no da bia o PR for ECG VR netco o PRO for Ghana water eno ana adwuma PRC tinye o muntimi bageni on our behalf nenka mutimi ma financial infractions be to say cost wie na se mo sa ba say yentua nkane ato mo sa ba say nkrofo wi nkane na esi mu hu ECG Parliamentary Select Committee we Public Accounts Committee na hwe ekwan a ECG for fa so edi omusika e wa adwuma mu omuwie no yentimi nye omohwe de omonka kire ne say de asi na sie wie nti aban twa so ne nko omadi na eme ya pa se omu a eya na omu office man nsem sesi no se Public Accounts Committee to da bia saafo na momfre omu na omu mba na anu ya na omu abetena oyi nsem ya no die se kose ya ema Ghana ni tiwa na adwene mu nya ne fan onyare hyemu sa amamu asesa aban foforo aba ebe sha amamu mu kena but omunyi ECG Public Accounts Committee now the chairman of Mabuno, my respect no, or question to the extent say, anu ye na bebano, sebi nyanse BM. Timi cut to the extent, some more expenses no sika ambeka somebody a budget mu, mutimi dini times 10. Times 10 oh, hotel bills, fuel. Now ECG hotel bills, hotel bay. Nkania na enhoma no sebe nam eyi nwam no nam wuram a mo hyehye no hotel bills ben hwebi na wa hwe wani so ade ne ti wasomase se yebegya Ghana se ya na se man no da bia se ya na ebekọ na the question is yekwai yenko ba bia da bia ECG for beba yebeton kanem na enye mind boggling. Say ECG timba so or to kania boom, maybe 135%. Na yeti ho ni ehwe sa. Yentimi nyehwe because ECG for na person mo to nkania. O man ko mbegina Ghana for, o mbegina yanemu, na nko matimi aka bia man no. PRC ebedro no. PRC so be buy into it. PRC for sa audit we ne ya mo nkope bi na mo nhwem. Na muni ECG fo hia no mka so meto nkane mu a na mahu asem a mo beka de a kire wo mu Yes. Say ya na ebe kono dia emwa 1. But enim se beja na sa na akọ say ya na epese chichire man dia say ya na ete ho. Because ye chichire Ghana say ya ye nru ba bia ye nya mfaso bia mfi so. Aban beba akọ. Yi sigi ne wo ho. Said me fonda so nti die biem. Die biem. Eyoma sika no mutwa no madi. Omutwa no madi. Obia ba audit ne ba ye nchi. Obia ni ho a okwanza bibia o. Eyi sigi nti omadi. Nti ebetua. Problem ayenya ne sisi ya okuruma no. Nti man na nyumeku ahodo no. A mo audit ne ba. Yase omadi awi ntomu nkono. Ti anya nkrofo bi na betena office ho. Isaac Minta Labi ewa homa so na yene ni nkomo kakra. We a private legal practitioner. Na afi yenhwe yene nkomo kakra se nseme court na chema untumi ne ruling e bae de nkrofo kafa ho ene ade court ndi decide awi nti obi peso ye bibia I think say appeal ene ho the sentence ma enya ba wi council ma chen
yes
na apom ti say
I'm here to book on also.
Ya do bad ya sa no pay yenso ye ho ye pa na wadaroma em say na otwe mu ruling bi by but the buy no amanfo to kuti kakra won chen it has got to do with the Ashanti regional chairman chairman untumi I sentence near man 20 years. First of all emra fufuro bi ana say ade ne Ghana te nemum ye ne ehwe kwan be fa so be kuta mra ni
Midawasoni akonya no mejina so de chia tiefo ene Ghana for and I teach through a 4-month NDC members in regional executives, constituency executives and branch executives. Mejina so no mechia branch executives are ye election na sin omo na see party mejina mo na so e branch ho nti o ma pedo ma se ne mo jima pa mo ye ma party. I want to be SMD, say now you know, I did the na never once because name some near the Galamsi in some no munusuno or yet party chairman or Ashanti region for MPP. Until Kobana Sadia na quite someone would be anybody actually. They try and also also, but I contemplate one of the very fastest delivered trial and judgment in Ghana when it comes to these kind of cases. Indeed, regional so the above attorney general na bedi actually very above omabaso so you mapa omoya omonto aso sa emana ya de achiche wontumi no enye ma foforo kra na wo kakra ibi se emse ono ame party leader former president Nana Akufo-Addo ono nemresu office na sinye nemresu ye ifi 2016 embassy 2024 sata no around 2019 na mo passe the friends na gudie hu mra no what did that nyemo no mo ye sakaya kakra hu sakaya ne asotwe a se ba ne se bia wo kutu agudie no no amfa na kwan so na ofu mra na ibu afọ asotwe be ma no ho no msesa no mo de kakra ne makaka so hye mu aba asotwe na ne sitirim tina yigina hai nti ho no first na nka 3 years 5 years na bia ibu afọ ni ama sa asotwe no na Ghana focus mse asotwe ni swa ka honti na galamsi na manfo aswa ide ho a o ka hwe o munti no nti enu mu no na omotina se no hwe ma na omo de foforo no mo de asotwe no e ko do 15 years to 25 years. In 15 years ni ketu mu kura court no e betimi dia ma and no ntimi nya no e ntimi ntiso enya ne 10 na 12 na 14 obu afọ nkwa dia wa ma kwa dia na se ne kwakra no 15 years ne mo ne mpempen so ababia betimi so akwa kodu 25 years. Emu bia no betimi na 16 betimi na 17 betimi na 23 betimi na 24 betimi na 20 in 20 years na odema wotumi no Inti me ho de dada Minerals and Mining Act agudie ho nsem ho mmra ha ho de da ne mu saka kakra bi ne de ba mu a e ma asotwe no de koso nti me mfa ne se enye wontumi nko na mmra no yesa ne yede akekere no yo illegal mining ko bibiri se bi omu ye ordinary Ghanaians men kan sa onye party chairman obabi ena ordinary Ghanaian onam debi e dey fire foreigners bi fi Niger bi fi Mali ni ho ade omo fo omo na mo kokko yesa galamsi ni akotichi omo echichi omo a ono no a lot of them kra ni economic migrants ejuma obinya ayi nti no ode aba na ejuma no so no wonti afie ni dia no say ade echi yesi uye kwa ha no di echiri ba di ni etu anaka ujina won mani abachi no yes mu ye mine na ejuma no panyi na nkasa kra onim no obi na edi no be fa do na ko nti du hodo mu a wa say nya babachi nti bele ku agum dida ayama bi 25 yama bi 20 yama bi 15 yama bi 19 nti if it 2019 ya say man ba ni pa bibire wo kan ha di o matum o samra ne so legal money but won't media na apeja any amama for the ekoso
minority minim per monitoring say we won't media no won't me adan no political prisoner minim when I be after court ruling be cast a political prisoner
what they say almost done in politics. We can say political prisoner. We need political prisoner. We are politician. Now the bonnet. Me a do kujina court. Now mpa ye me who say bonnet no wedi. Niti yamba. Me a chun aswa. We need political prisoner. So because if you hold no more, you can't political prisoners na. Omna mo kokoyen ko bia. Akwese se bia ni maybe koso okrunim. As opposition, you know. Wo ka ho ase. Ba do ka ho ase ma se kan wo kan na no kwa na kan de ba do bi amanfo nani. Nti anu nti no abane hia. Wan kan wanu ontumu a. Na ti se obeya ma ne nyina so enu anya heti na se wotimi aba betunu. Nti anu ho ya oni libre no no ase da ba becho. Na ti se chi a wacho kwa fa so bi ne so unye he. Ni mu akwa se wo kasa. Enu woni ye ne ho adade no. Threat at the man keke ibia ahini ya bitimi abitunu political prisoners na no nti ni pa no do wad na kwa kotum onye bondi bia nso ye nso so wa honko di na se wo do wan kasa do pe emra che nso na wo di ni pa na bro keke na wo di na ni tu Ghana ha se illegal money in fact Ghana for who did dan kasa Ghana for who did pa nya se ketwa nti ade ekoso ena o kan se I want me obi enim se Samrebo area hono ono ano so hono ma oye mine no me se na sen videos e ba ya kwa yina ni tu ya se ne ekuru no issue na fe issue nani aji kuru ni na fa even forest of ni na issue no ma se nyina enti se de nyina sa nanka issue to ha hono sa nanka ho ya anka ye bete ni wo se mine na ko so hono ena da beti issue a block issue nya kwa nko enti na say issue so bi enti kwan no be bia fa e be fa no so no kodi se money issue so ban no so be bia person fa no ma na mfa ho no mo a e bi ordinary be fa no ko ha kodi se money wo ni wo say be bia ordinary fa no pe eno no to so ordinary ko to be no pe
minim say what you nua no ma lawyer for on the other side say ye fa bibi fair trial and omu hu fair trial e wo nim process fair mu e wetima ka so anya fair trial.
Right from day one of the major principles of fair trial is legal representation. So being a lawyer. Because lawyer now said this, so be say Marana, be as a man, will be a bit so. And that's the first thing. Or lawyer. You told me, you know, or convict. I mean, so there's not a single time my Africa is when a chia. I can say be a near Africa is when a chia, near making orders be the tiano. And this are. Every court to be aware, no call or pay bill, your money bill. What you say, the principles of fair trial. In the case in the open court, Yankosha Kuku, near Kukudia, the mono open court. So the lawyer Bekasa or who can so Bekasa. we person application unya kwa application so na meche no se e ba na che bia bibinti untimi ma anaye ntu hye da ne sa de ma na me se ba ko mienu bitimi ko so akọ te accommodate enti so ka se wa nya fair trial no na se no person muka
okay
the principles of fair trial no nkyere se yidi asemi wi ade openi anyama
okay
ye bu afọ na ye bu afọ e asutwe bema that's how the law works
okay
enti you ka so wa nya fair trial na what exactly do you mean
okay now ye fa bebe to say galamse hu nkomo ya yedi a ya jeli wuntumi one may ask ya jeli wuntumi ntu no ano na sama boy ho cry so hye ya adwuma no sisi e cry no ya se nkrofo site a mo ye adwuma. How do we deal with this?
Well, security agencies no no say omo ehye mo sapo mo nsu na omo timima omo ho ya hakaka Jenny awo kensen ko fogu su shewo no na kise entempa na the security for netimi akwakudu if say eno na ko so no mkopa amode ko chi okun na ye bigina su binya untumi a nse ma bo abisine no nti sa pepe at the end there man me there machines are usually how they are no they say beka so akote baby awo ye nti e besi tracy e bi bitime tracy but the difference is that you will be a yaman permit or cogent lances and castle kitchen concession or yen juma. On the machines in Libya. Any order or no affect not only lances, only concession, only permit. On Sakushima, on Suibi. And Joseph to make it a distinction between the two. And now, you know, your own more permit and Casa. A corner of us with the Juman and Yana Quaso and also so. There's almost reaching the terms of the concession at the moment. And also, and Joseph to make the difference because in a good enough there. O mani here engineer dey ebetu ni mo si e befa na kwan so na etu na ense issue ense asase wale ase na fa yare man eni ade ihe titiru enti so bi shele bi na so ye na so ne permit ne dia e bi timi akwa hese o ye ni yi ana ha fere bi enko fa asemo onye ni yi a eno so ne mra ho de chire o license ne dia na so kwa afa so de ye ne nyesa na so ye no eno so ho nti o si e hwe da side ne so ko so before e bire ho no mo a omo so mo concession mo license mo permit o so mo di ejuma no ni mo kwa so fa so di no onye ni yi nti ho titiri o si ye me ni ko ebe boy
yate going forward the arrest and then now Canada bia no security agencies no make arrest as to whether say you betimi anya the will na ya prosecute say the be amra no ebe adwuma no because you can say enra konongo community ni mpanimfo de nkosua na koburu nua se be ya galamsefo no se no mutu no ukrum se we so de nka enye yafunyade o ye ni se mana
ya se mo ojo makobodia
se they say ye kire nko ba bia nti e bia ebodua na na atimi aboa
ya se mo you we ni na de ye beka na ye de gina so de to security officers ni so mo honya ha na ye he sa ni ma na pin no say ade a ye ma concession na say me ni say concession no kruma bebi ni party me ye de ma so concession ndi say no say no quickly so mo timi duo na ye he mo amutu mo permit na so mo concession na so mo ni bi na quickly na ye chi o mo so le bi en ko fa say bi aboyi ma ko sa ni ma ne de eno no spiritual ni ma eno no ho no eno ni ni pa etina se di asem foforo eno so ye minum ye ni intimi control eno nje ne bemu a eno bukwa kwa asem foforo nje o se ye hwe ni sa de eno kwan na mo se kuruma ni party na obi esi ni dan hospital clinic police station ni ho da na bo ye na machimi tutu ndi eno na enkola kwa betimi akutu mo mo hwe mo nkwa nje o se security for mo o ye mo ho ya na mo hwe sa ni ma na esutwa
we why obi a wonso as a party man and a lawyer no the MPP for ne can say munim pass galamsey na NDC for ye bi so in this case no NDC for ye bi ade na catch wo
yo so NDC for ye bi a na me chere no Ghana for na ne betu friends a good game any abrofo am one betu ni mu no ye hia ne say nipa no ya ma ne concession na fiensu o tuzu a what are the terms and conditions are also comply. Maintain for some moment. No, no, we answer. Any he any being here to and it is a security service a follow up. Chani man American, the only concession in Chino. The all concession, on the Germany, you or no so, a man of Quancy in Chino. The end is Anna, the also be trapped, my amount. Into so this new, sempre new. This is sempre before near Bemo. Into your more can no cancer before some of your money diana. We go on the concession, yeah, the manner, or in the Juma, ultimate council of Stopono. Into MPP when this new, or the concession ultimate of Stopono. No more any illegal there. And a friend can say Nidia, and Nidia who can say better. And the end this MPP new, and here Rosa, Omina Ghana for, and yet they are Ghana for the bitu, and they are brought from the bitu. Name me too, and I said, man, Belgium, and 1 year.
Yate. Why? Chai bedasi anope mi influence e beto aso de free ya dana say Isaac Mr. Labi a private legal practitioner or a member of the NDC anope ni take el hono no say emra no de eni eneti ni nhihye mu no mo amoka na fair trial whatever no fair trial no say principle the started pious in the Panabenia Council onya ne council afa process ni nyina wona e wo de obeka aside this elho now ura kwasinti a former chairman of the MPP. Ono who say ese untumi mredina emrande ne ko. Na normal untumi aye no a doso chair de ye ka said na kwakodina court. Abono kunedu no. But a member of the MPP, former chairman, e wono ane constituency. He take no minim. I ready ya. Nenki ahwe because on the tiniest realizer list enye we nkwa sama boy de ne one out of many. We are within. So, some facts we now can we sit on as a nation? If it matters, so say, yeah, Hana. If you see a man a presidential pardon, whatever, but as a chema kwasinti, ne video na ready a moment.
Puto Abranaa. Ultimate. Me say, the case is called the Miracle Making account. Cobra. And then you know, a leader NDC. To be for 37% for Asanta again. What is $1 million per constituency? Project yes, you have police station constituency officers. No, community side one. You can branch again. Why? Who you over chance you go to Abama? What you Musika, Ultimo, one and a cura Andy. Now, Cassie and Wasafo. So, may MPP need it. Mimpia Montana, Minkodi Wuntimaki. Now, what beer what this is our band one for Papa Beer. That is why I to me and Chihuahua. They just sub your Dokuna or me and Wasafo. Man, penny for Nabi. Obiti, Obiti, party move, just come on 1,000. I could tell you. Number six, and penny for Nedefa. Now, we are near Quachua. It's a party for sorry. Party need benefits, sorry. Me, because this instrument, because this year, I will get more about you. Namiko car. Say, we have regional first by now for my chairman. There is a party in the beginning. And I make a joke. Say, a party chairman. A new consent before. Say, why you the business of fire? Party, so Catampo. I campaign and I'm not copying any chain idea. And the party will be good. Uti some on no account. Uti was only minister that only a minister that we a businessman and was defending the businessman. I got the SM Bank no. So you could bro. I blow 1 year. Office camo. Not Bambia Bana, Baya Conta. Where watch you? It's in Daisy Ben on Wheel. What is so chill or money Cadimano? What is NDC bar power? And on me announcement, I hope so. A friend, the chief of staff. Sir, from January to February, me and your payment. Now, come on, fees are one, me a true, except the Bayano, where I am before so the Mediochi. Now, people are chairman, and that's all your organizer who go with the Kenan, the office. Now, people said identity, which has bash of Pisicana make me. Said my party for MPB, BCF 500, 200, or what didn't you know at the Abomafa. Which then some no quite have any Bekasi. And it's a unity, okay, dear. What is in your unity? What could you want in your joy for party unity bell? What could you want in 94 tower as a party unity bell? And to keep me and no man inside. Yeah, you want to be sarcastic. This is one day on my power bill. Almost obedient near my head. Medium means support to Agya Boneta and the MPP. Mina, you become a kind of credit. Me capture that Abranaa, young fan. The wow, because I could just make a different wound to me. Let me tell you, beside the crown, so you're grown for. Omunyano, no one. So be being to me. With a reaction, at yes, oh yes, a poor penny or the penny. which is paying the name of Basabasa Santa party office, and then no can say, LPP, a committee, a Jacob hotel. A Jacob enemy. Go water region. Go your party office, a water region. Or what says you? You got this $50 million, says CDC. And you want to mean you will be. Somebody put to such a day, my partner. Uchayaka Kabensam, Uchase, one in Akura Andino, Nessica, and go for your $8 to the Geo. The papa. Ghana for the husband. Ghana, Namiko Ocean now. Nami Ocean now. And crying for brother. The champagne for part of it. Mimi say, Obati me say Kwasia. Ah, now Mibusa Obanse, and I'm usually you say, be Kwasia. Kwasia Penny will be at Tomabushi Kamano. Some family Kruma Bobra, Dakota Kajetia. A dear man, and Kwasia. I mean, the Chushan about Kruma, and so about getting a coupon, and I'm so my Kakran. And the check. Which is not politics and correct the theatre. The Sika and confining them, Yatua, Sika at the farm. Dollars. Now, yes, a party for me. No, I don't go on the money in the Unco. Don't be a baba, Mr. Coco, a table bombata. Coco will get him up like you want. A prayer, a school year, if you could be all your friends. If you could be Uko. Minnesota, I show you a coin you to me at the man one. Not what you want who could defend it. Then you can't be the Dilusu lesson. And can't be. Come and crash out the Kama, $1 million per constituency. Schools being like a Wajuska. I would get Ukawaya, that is a unity. Me, I know now we are getting an empty as a security and your unity. Nisabel Copim said, would the okay cane in Arno. Yes, it will be a suspect until say be proven guilty. And Sunny, because go become Rose, you cry okay. Maybe as a guy, the man, no so often, maybe a next kind of ground good. I think what a man throw be as well do it. Call before documents. Near water and this so Yamasa. And now I feel so my coins or my car, but I ain't here or more the cause or more. Almost friend, you I tell uncle. Oh, me dear lawyer and the appeal. Oh, because of mine is 17 and my friend, and yet I say, be piano Babaka against him. Madame for lawyer Piacobi, may you baby. I am a lawyer, no, and your party into Ukodinaki. I am a lawyer, a personal lawyer. It will be defended. Name of our lawyer, dear, and fair party Libya. Call Obipiala Wafum Ghana. Mamma, what a woman should MPP, MPP, the other Uncle no go another. Senate President or and say one, Uncle the President in make a more matter.
We an MPP member, former constituency chairman, former Orakwasinti. The only was say, and some no crowd be breo. Umunu within MPP for no. Umunim Bonia won't to me. Until some baby or home de beba. Cause umunim kokorosa or J. Yadini in Amana kokoros no one yet. When you say be a call to be a friend away or no within the party members no. They know. Into more sans no de beba. Is it true? The contract na or J no. Abain ye secretary in an one year quino saying. Or see a brew, Kojiska Kodo brew, Sikana Koya Bruno, no. Do you say within among themselves, no? Omuni, the womb. Okay. Enra, a being so salai, Echo Reno, Ewan Sound Prison, Poyando Money, the other groups of Musukoi. So, court ruling in the Abba, whether appeal and I send your appeal, Chairman to me, and a power in Sound Prison and all. Ewi actually grab Poyando say, wa person ko no kwa no wa fufu ni kaku. Ene opekotodwe pa ena pork no. Ha. To wo bisa na de nchina na wo no. Ma koma ne bi o prison. We ono an communication director neka. Di ba bi a eho de no adru so far no. Before abidafo be ba no, mpacho say Public Accounts Committee ECG4 the almost committee na ready amfa ma ehia me papa Munti me kan tell semba ton kan ya bom na mo sika no mu di ni sensuo. Pa cha mon drop video ne mame. Public Accounts Committee.
Attorney General for Prosecution. Let's go through some of these items. There were 13 items in your budget that you exceeded without any approval of the board. So let's go through these. You said you have foreign training of 31 million, but you spent 91 million. Why? And who approved that?
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. We will not try to justify the infractions. We accept that we overstepped our boundaries. I think the most important thing is that we have put in place measures to control expenditure, to make sure that we stay within the budget.
You are the CEO, right?
Yes, sir.
This happened in 2023.
Yes.
This happened in 2023. And just like Honorable Abranaa said, it's the way that you guys spend money at ECG. Another one, you said cleaning expenses. 2.8 million, that was your budget. But ECG spent 10.4. How many suits did you clean for that? Now, honorarium expenses, 3.8, but you spent 4.6. Hotel expenses, 9.3 million was your budget, but you spent 12.2. Staff fuel. Hey, did they drive around the world? Budget was 2.8 and you spent 3.6 million. Communication expenses, ECG. Their budget was 4.2, but you spent 7.9 million. Consultancy, budget was 40 million, but you spent 58.6 million. All these you did it on your own without even board approval. Industrial relations, your budget was 2 million, but you spent 13 million. Stakeholders' expenses, your budget was 3.1 million, and you spent 49 million. And you want to increase our tariffs. Publicity, your budget was 5.7, and you spent 21.8 million. Professional fees and subscription, you are supposed to spend 731,000 cedis, and you spent 1.5 million.
Mr. Chair, that's it. Nti we a bra ECG for abo. 2023. Bra umabo. Senye audit report we are on to that. Na kote enche kota na fufuro sabe ya. Odo ha. Obet so mu de increment. Ansenti chair no busa na se nti we nyina koso. Ena mbeka kire se mo betonka ni. On na ya na ya on sa aboni we na ekọ ECG na ekọ so osi ECG no obekọ no menye sure say ECG obekọ no benya NDC chairman ana MPP organizer bi oho we no yes here from the technocrats the papaya CCA we ECG see we obekọ no wo pen the front line political way obekọ no nka ho ne ready anyi bi ne ba nyi bi ni tri nyi bi politician nam nsuo bono for campaign no onka ho sankrofo yo na de man yehu ni say aban beko aban beba sankrofo ya expenses omonye even authorization ye diska no they will continue to be there ndi Ghana no ye bre I say ye konsuo agu kura echi kura na animu da ho ba ye mfa animu no nji nsuo no ye de begu echi yebe konsuo ne sa okomubu anu ape baabi atena nti we nyina sa abone we bebrebe sa de CEO ne kan se o maye mfonso nti no we de we ebi nsibiem ebi nsi biem ne se no ano no yentwa so enko ba bia na nka wa wo budget se op 2 million na se ya approve ma na akodi 13 million o budget op 31 million na ya approve ma na akodi 91 million anse ska no mebobo no why won say ase adeketua bi o 91 million Ghana cedis ma ho akwan bebrebe na abanye skentua no nke betmetua ba bonu nti yentimi wona e ho ne no echina omo ho adechi omo ho nanso aban obebo the government of the day be so asa abedin we nyina aban benya skill wonya skill opeu wompeu obekọ akọbọbọsia de abre omu container na yira port wo bebrebe ni nyina achi say ehu ye whatever ehun homa no ni nyina achi no o ma ate office wo no de o ma sa enie tariffs no montum ye betua why de metimi aya aboya no PRC fo ano pay match mon kan bi na mo ni ECG fo ni hia mo se bone bay na Ghana for the ayo aya Abranaa so ma bedwa for ye ready wa ha nti ye beko na afia no penkitan de ho no yetum de abro ye de brew a o chefen wo mu o comment no fato social media handles baby a be share bia na afi kire wadne se Ghana ni mapa Ghana na ye me no dia ye ni ya ye betenem fefefe ya anye ni ya da bia mpoto na why ma mo achi biem ye nko na afi abedwafo ne no muntu aso mfefu ya mitwa mo abasisi ya
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. Natural mineral water. Simply natural. For bulk purchase, call 0596 273 546 or 0596 273 547. This advert is FDA approved.
ahwefo akwaba na afa no pay nto aso mfamfiri ankomo no baby aduru ni mpensem mu make us say Ura Prince Mahmood Deputy CEO, Ghana Enterprise Agency, Deputy Regional Organizer, Upper West Region, Anope Oha. Prince, good morning. Now, what to say? Now, you will be a Kosopa. That's right. Biakoso. Sounds so, and last week, na me bonfire se Farouk MVP for Metro Media Mano. If you try, see unia reporter, now say no problem. Better luck next time. And the Alhaji Farouk Osman Mensah, or a regional communications team member of the MPP. Farouk, Akwawa. Now here they.
Adumi Paboni Ashe.
Nobody.
Ahodi hopa. Nkwane here.
Nkwane here.
Dia ka na dos. Nti yo nkwamu nkwane.
That's right. But next time you should campaign as in.
Oh.
One kasa so ma sikanan kasa. Oh, party the campaign went to our.
Yeah, only say this is what I always applaud the NDCs for, because they volunteer their time and everything. No money. They love the party. They love for the party. That's what we have in us. The party, you know. So we work for the party. The little I can get for you, I will get for you. I can't kill myself for you. So if you didn't vote for me, let's see what's ahead of us. Yeah. The only thing is, look me, what about take you na party in yet very valid in the constituency. That's all. Okay. That's my motive. Maybe we need to be against anybody. Yeah, maybe should say maintain your Kankwe Central, because yeah, that's the main thing. Later I crown constituency. Yeah, he's the first. Almost 90% plus. Okay. Schools I also see up to today your position kra apenkwan fadama shine or schools are all seen now. It's almost 70-80% done. Okay. So it tells you Boma has worked. So Kankwe Central, MP away to know was some constituency. So we thought we could at least also help. Because anyone the since 2010 till today, he's still on the throne. So you're born home by and you're 2028. You best love on home by not that.
That's it. Yeah. Better luck next time.
Yeah, thank you.
But quickly, send me audio voices me be and as a video me be one ECG anyway. Yeah, quickly, Prince, your bite on the ECG Public Accounts Committee or more infractions
my main fa if you deal with so na ninchia oma hwe na anopa etichu ene medwuma for ene me party for omo hwe na listening to some of these conversations no as a public servant is worrying ohwe Ghana emra Ghana was one of the best laws that governs our expenses, like say acquire a buying nipa ebefaso edi a buying sika. And the casa buying sika, it goes beyond what we just think because it's not just for Yemfane say CEO now or Tehona and as a director of finance now or Tehona. It belongs to all of us. And sometimes, in my personal opinion, no, any given the opportunity at where I am today, I have come to the conclusion say, BBC and I say BBC, it has implications. The first implications are making say mostly you get these things happening when the main spending officer obunenigu emraso. If you see some of these things coming up, then that could be a major possibility because mostly no emrane dahwa a preventive from going beyond certain bounds. So what will let you eventually go beyond it? That is when you close your eye to the a ball home. Then the second thing is that you find people also acting with the mind say, oh, ya buying we are abbey or moka esubecha. It's also there. Then the other aspect of it could also be that at the end of the day, in some way, now look at the volumes of monies and the level of variations at a womb to say Yama Kwan says spend 2 million. I buy him say Yama 2 million Kwan say spend within 2 million. No, Bibi betimi si na akoba ne sa age say o spend more than 2 million. In the wisdom of the law, no, and as a loss na govern or agency, no, you can't also okay. Once you want to go beyond 2 million, seek approval from your board. Into the 1 year, sir, and the chini panuko jinawa. The first thing we say, oh, politics, anten, na ya salline na konsa wom.
But these people are not politicians,
no. What I'm just saying is that at the end of the day, we have, unfortunately, though, yayama ase. I just will be a jina efa baako.
Okay.
Today, even if you touch Obi, or describing as technocrats now, we find a way of going around to say it is because of ABC Dintina. Okay. So at the end of the day, if we watch these three things as a leader of a government agency, it was said Ode Emra Eyejuma. Once you follow the law, we will not have any problem whatsoever. And the other thing is that the public should also be ready. Say, so obi fumumra, let us stand by the law.
Okay.
Said the emrane kind say nipan 80 then the law should take the person. If not, you can imagine say ECG, one of the agencies are regulating a very critical aspect of our economy.
But quickly. The former Ashanti Regional Secretary of the MPP, Sampain, we are told a man for be crack on some prisons, a correct chairman to me. Sampain, what can I channel pay? Now, Wapum. Edobadi, I say. Aquania by a momo call in Saumra correct chairman, Nakawana.
And right now, yes, there were different engagement in tea. But me, I'm going to be this week. Next week is more.
That's right. Meaning, say, being the former secretary, chairman, now and it's not no back, so mostly party activities, being the secretary and also being the regional chairman. Bra say sentence na court 20 years ne say na musifano.
American chair wo ma hwemo no wo metie mu nyinara. Ene ukru anu mo na panel members of nyinara na ye magana man nyina so achi. Ye no twedi ampa se ordinance so achi yen. Notwithstanding Asante mo baby almost didn't mean kind of fully because part of it and yet language that is a baby. Until be and should be crowned a term rebia when you are a kind of notwithstanding anything. Biara BBC Tunwa. And from home they're winning it. So penna some so time on so you wouldn't be so you wouldn't be so you are down for when you are down for. Your Jew freedom free when some just 10 minutes grana yapa to name it here no me yapa that man so say sign a bebano because I had an occasion to be in court at TSMB some of the cross examination. Many lawyer there, but from my layman's view and the rest, some now a course of the man Suda say court to know a becase buano for Nempu buano for and Predudo say Yadina Bequacotu.
Okay, but Sana Kobaye, minim as a party on the regional chairman, and when you're 20 years sentence, party leadership no saying that they say is Musia organizing.
Oh, your party will say chairman you are at every level. Uba consensus level, you were the chairman, the first vice, second vice. The chairman you are first vice in the active. The chairman, the first vice in you are not second no active. About regional level, sign arrangement. It's about national level, you were first, second, third. The chairman you are says chairman. Buti and active so no you are second vice chairman na say second vice the first vice na third vice chairman. It's now no the first vice chairman Minia Patrick Champon or no na they acting as the chairman. Now or the regional executives that's the sharing committee a kabum normal any the support of the regional executive council. That is chairman for the secretary for normal constitute council or so about the children. You move here, your order that know with that experience, just so behind the scenes, we are making sure that they be quiet.
Okay. Yeah, to be calf trials and said they also can say one Casacra case maybe a breview of how court will be called within the city course, meaning say justice none a pen and I said justice at play and on a course we.
And I make us say they see and me should that say at Nebequacotum. The justice nana ye penno and a yaye. And some no Ukomwa, and some baby made a yamming one a year, a quambia lawyer for be with this background or more cancer. We say, Omunia be a normal bush and even a this assembly dinner. And come back a tip of my moon. Make I pass a ye penny, me papa quampi pranum. Which are Solomon and a chatuti catanum and some buyer. You been said there's a lawyer for no answer, it's a cafano. And now we are a mean answer at 2 forcing and some buyer no mood and a japanum some. You need the Omakai, more radio to the TV, so you need the Uncle so kind. And then narrative necessary. Said no, Nanya, and Eddie.
But sometimes we mining actor in Yasha and Asi Atiasi.
Roma one court to financial law to the state, and yet Ghana Mrani as said Nana or Mr. Buso.
The court, yes, to
Mra, the Mukodia, and as I said, at some come, Mukodia, and answer Okotumana, I know Biku about there, I know Biku Bianisua. Ghana Mrano sees any money in a way, I want to Mrabiboa. It is a book to be a diso, and also book to be Monani a Casamuna, meaning I'm running up from. It in Quacasa, it be a mining law, now a bush or regulation, or bush or an answer for, and also be obviously Bokrono. This is a Bokrono.
Okay, but we know the fight against Galamsey, and for that matter, I say,
the other was no more can I hear the fight against corruption. Ning in your mind as them. Meaning, at some the bar, me and for your name shall be a finish. Me say, me papa can't sing, but you do a new munition to a more, or feeling any woman. So one more when you back home, I 5 years to my own with the womb. It's a to say, as soon as I see now, you know, young can say, near answer. Then you know, any court if you say, well, any year, meaning what some can, and then I'm running a hotel, to me, I call appeal in as a form. When mom say, ya, you know, ya, nisu, ya, who say, be child, so I see a car.
So before said the fight against Galamsey no says started na money upset those actively involved.
The fight against Galamsey and now me no can say and ra me call to do areas ho. Ko hwe NDC for Galamsey ho. And ni busu me call Obuase me call Krofon na kwan bi da ho be pi Obuase. Wo be fa ba bia Obuase strip no wo no. Every kete. Not will move your Galamsey. A coin home. Your money. Your mobile NDC penny for being said. One more your Galamsey. Yatin wants them. Selective justice, I also know. No, I said anything. And I selective arrest and I selective trial. And no, I said anything.
Okay.
One more year come, man, some need the Abubono. There are some I can't find.
Okay. So in effect, no way no appeal, mobile appeal, sana pesoche.
That was it.
Now we can say final mobile appeal na. Hello. Okay. I'm say Sampaya Chairman can be. We're former Ashanti Regional Secretary, Edema NPP, and also former Mayor Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, we're a member of the MPP. Well. Also, who say selective justice. That is it. The chato appealer se bumsum bekwa umbitmiako. Sampa no pay me da semia for nsianafe. Sorry, I'm say sampa line drop e.
That level so but that movement
Onte kasan okay. As one no ensina line drop e. Na me busa say mo bekwa appealer na.
Of course, definitely. As any party no crana making it clear and the lawyers in some making it clear. Because some the one kasa udi say the stiwa emrano ewo ho kwa Supreme Court no krano ekwa na say when you want to make a review until we are going to pursue everything through the legal process.
Mate mami na wase anope bibia ho actually bedinko why yeah, that's it. My friend is a Sampine, a friend or a former Mayor Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, and then former Regional Secretary of the NPP. Ni take hono. Techia here Sansi, and our budgets na de bedi hun komode better ne, and set time ne fan kakrat. It me kwa na traffic ne. Techi akwaba.
The na mumu san enyangi no.
Oh,
ado.
Techi ado ho.
Say ekwapi for the ado ne de enkonya ho.
Techi ado yeah. Techi akwaba.
Nua I say eyi malaria bi na ebo meto ho.
Kafra.
Ti no mo hodo ntrane o man
ne san kwa sorry. Kafra ahoden fufuro. Why? Prince na o conclude on this ECG matter. Yeah.
Ne say emre bebre no say ye do ekoto aban edwuma mu a na say that be no mpese ade beche ne ese wa ye say na ye bought these kind of figures once you follow the laid down rules enya ade a ohun be ba asem da and enya ade nso a ye sika sem ebeye basabasa but we realize that mostly
for instance your mamo a budget of 31 million say and we are foreign training could be 91 million
into ejo so there me person me church mu on say it might not necessarily I'm just being careful.
Okay.
It might not necessarily mean ill. Say be a nipa ne di bone. Emran ma ho kwan say ye twa sika say emam. Say faye bibi say ya.
Yeah.
In the course of it no bibi timi si. Na either say obetra and I say untimi nu sa amount na ye the amount no.
Okay.
Emran ne kire say opese wo tra. I just say o board amount approval. Nti ehona assembly. And if you listen to the Public Accounts Committee, Omoka said these expenses happened without prior board approval. Intiehona assembly. And that is where the law will have to come in.
Farouk.
Always the same thing. Whether I resign or resign, I don't know. About the drip issue. Oko do hono. This guy chato ho. Say yen fanye juma no. Sika no hu maybe sika na fa. Nti ama na juma no akoyede. It is like this very institutions, you know, who can handle institution biana. Most of the time, also we are only starting on say politicians, because every time it ends up on the politicians. But the directors and the technocrats who they can fine and fine sa. Omo edwuma sem te sen. Omo bie nyema ni so kyerɛw. Omo kyerɛw nyema kwa na. Always no omo hyesumase edi dwuma no. Dwuma bonni wi ana politician no betena asoro no. A CEO no an opinion no ibi akɔwie no. So most of the time the technocrat plan no di bɔne sene. Nti ka say corruption related issues and cases are. You can say you come down technocrats no be kyerɛ mu crossing politicians. Most of the time we di bɔne no. Na yɛ da be politics go wona be da no. Nti you see benefo to say we mrante die. Who to say no was so na akɔwie ne die mu no. Ewie positive and negative. So in this very concept, you know, I don't think always it should be politician to politician. You may know technocrats na you back to more offices no omo kyerɛkyerɛ kwan say na nyama tie say na matie no. Eza wo na obeda no obeda ni sipapeni. Ebe dey gu abodu sem. Chana ko you are na koda ni problem. With this ECG omo so betu tariffs mo. Ye twen omo so na wo kan no omo dey buy bed dey. Ebe tu ya say nyina team bi. So say o man mbo no man mbo nyina team bi. Nti say wa ko di bone na wa ko di sika. Nti say mba na kan e bia na wa bro ni estimate. Oburoso no board of directors no ma approval and no ma. That's where the question is like he ended no or how no say before tenants in ebisa. Scanner oburoso scanner e madete ma wo na oburoso no. Wo ma approval and sa oburoso and wo do tumi and oburoso. Wo oburoso a kire bia wo de ye. Nti say before from they have a lot to answer because the board approve now kasa oburu budget so I think you have to answer for it.
By we match you almost say Public Accounts Committee yes in the BNC.
Omo pacha no Ghana for you omo pacha no
no enyesa na metias Agya Wusu na o be ka say BNC biem is normal but say emra ne be
yeah na dey ham say busumi ikotan bedru no ye beton kanie ye de be ba ye pempo ye betua na nsenya aban na ebia ya na ni idin na no ma bi o highway kankane ande ya 2,000 times give it 1,000 times there were infractions we be a deal with the now you heard the next issue ana techi kakra on say can person dey me no bo budget ni to pa ana
say o ka energy issue ana be say me Ghana sa say me charge me phone ana
o charge
oh ba me dey work kan say me work kan say I think say o man no edu baby a emra na nya adwuma keke
okay
obi a wafa peso bia no semra na ndi
okay
say no mobi so na electricity company no ye ho kire ya na no fa mra kwa so na ye pay scratch my back and scratch your back na yekunya no when my classmate or my mate me ne wo ku bakom ye oso bakom na edi o mani nya no ye isa di nya free ma you see Ghana do baby a esi ejai soma ya adwani eku a ya adwani because two political parties no omo dodo na wo ku omo nya adwani ya wonu omo it is omba he sa na kwakoda see one time na kwakoda sa na omare na yakofo mana mebwa
yeah
enti sa na China say ubi kwa $100,000 scrapa na yekunu ba Ghana obi timi fasika twitwi die say na ya yesa na ye hwegu na Ghana mra no so no sebi wo fidi kesi su na echi ejimifo no
o sa
na office ekofo ba ye no sipaye ke mota ikofo ba ochi sipaye ke ne sa agbuda kunu do so wanse ni na no se ne wodi sifobu wanke amra betimi ache o maka ho sa na do ba ye so sa na tie yo nkofo bu amra no beche obu enche wo mu utumi di ne ye clear say ese amra ni so ni mu osle usu kali jibije wen mo bi say kan wasem oso ayi di se wo so de wo so ni di na do wo be so ba di de sana e ma no be so mu So Agya Wusu was say and NDC omo sa tribunal na isi mo issue kakra wo sa tribunal issue no TUC ebe press conference almost support tribunal me question is TUC no wadwuma no TUC wadwuma no say o support tribunal wadwuma no say you wadwuma no tribunal ye penentem na ye asem kokota ye di intentem Ghana for say baby o man edu no as say ye nya trial ye be nya intentem trial ba ko betinye di be 8 years na say adaku da adwe na omode ye o man no tribunal ba e be ye no be intentem so obi di bibi o chiesu say tribunal ho e ma na sentence area ma ye nwa wutumi say na 3 to 5 years enye 2019 ma MPP be amending no e na chi ono akasa na mo chairman
15 to 20
sa na tribunal so ba so and this for no mistake so na o ma na be say dey achi wo mo enti mo bi ensuro se woni hwisi e mo bi ensuro tribunal no eye embra embe ye adwuma isika no o mu di le dodo o mu di le too much sa sika ya from Agya sika ya kelofota GA sa 51 billion Ghana cedis from unknown account to different account no say sika o ma bi anka ya trace me bi sika na ko ye
okay
account
crest kan ko mu
bo bi yidi sa there no o hwe equivalent to dollar na $10 billion o can do a lot
10 billion
exactly obi yidi enka wasem we are sitting down you be tracy omo mo involve no because enye kenkwa enye nkwa na ye adwuma no
okay
Sata Ghana Commercial Bank lead the some one no but na ke ya say only one say ke kochi wo mo
okay
obi yidi ukoye adwuma koto ade na utua tax na kwa ba nipa ba ko mini yesa bi ahodi sika no yesi me nka wasem dey intra because we are politician na what are politics Ghana one be a politician in Ghana aso for me to na if you present you are politicians obi no onye politics o mamu ha na manye politics abede meti aka cha aba odi mi so say Yoruba me na oye so what you say
yeah
eti no Agya Wusu eso man no bi adu ni that thing say ese emrano na say ye adwuma simple
the emrane ka say obi to mra we ya enye no ese ye
adwuma
that's right mate Prince quickly ye hwe chema untumi ne sentence by anyway if say wanya fair trial brofo de kan bebre ni nyina ye legal terms nyade me ensha say
okay that also em say to start with as some mechanic say personally there are some two places me so pa on my brabo two places
okay
and me that sorry na me bompa bia I pray very hard never to get close to those places
okay
the first place is hospital me pe hospital back say I recall in 2004 Echo 205 muhononka Kevin can be done nurse na me just because I don't want to get close to the hospital. Baby, you don't control anything that happens to you there. Then the next place is police station and a prison.
Okay.
Because immediately you get to the police station and also could do prisons. You don't control anything that happens to you there. It's not just a misro, me bomb me home buying.
Okay.
Said these two places I can always avoid it at every point in time. They see last week say yache wun to me atumuno. In the course of last week, nenye wun to me nkwana abayin edine kotu. Nipa bebre akọ court ama last week ni mu ya pass judgment na dodo na ewo prisons. It is not anything enijie say yedobia kwa akotum. That is one. The second thing is that I'm somebody who equally believes say ti obi tumuno doesn't solve our problems. To say obi akofa aban sika ni ache na kotum na akosisen. Yensa anka yesika no. Yesa de nipa na kotum for prison officers. Nancy Amateur President Mame increase the feeding ration from 1 cedi 50 pesos as a visa to 5 cedis. It comes with so much cost. Obia kwa saying asase with illegal mining, ni achena kwa putum. Na akosi saying. These are my personal views, right? Now going forward, no, whether say the person got fair trial, whether say me panel is selective justice, whether say the years are many, and I say in Kenya quite say a wound to me, because that's also another angle. Say because I listened to some commentary, a whole regional chairman of MPP in not less a place like Ashanti region, you know, and you see, ye nipa for ene kamu kuya ye wo sidio hasesiano. Every individual should be responsible for what you do. On say if you deal with so I no make kasana make no. At the end of the day, now I'll take responsibility for it. Sure. The PRO air cano, I was also taking responsibility for it. A jumani na yete ha ye and I was said the owners of station also here ready so be taking responsibility for program na air costume. Once we do that, we'll make progress as a people. Okay. But asemba obehuna yeja the substance of the issue. Na fedi ene namchen na yeka ne ense fata. And these are some of the comments are it emboldens people to commit crime. Because anye crampo neba yebeka say I was unfairly treated. And that will give the person some comfort. And once I believe I take responsibility for the mayor Sisiano, I'm ready to face the consequences alone. And then, yes, that is a chiwun to me Yoko. MPP 4 courts now a form Yoko with MPs. Mebwa. Yeah. When he goes to court, you find a few people following him to court. And then Nansa said that didn't call the former vice president and the flag bearer of MPP convoy Kessie and a full bus from Ashanti region and Asafo. Sisi ameno kase oko in Sawan prison say won't munkwane ho. All loyalty, the enamedo, yen ni na nada. At the end of the day, you are the person that will face everything. Inti me ka kosi say at the end of the day, no. Dear Uye Biano, you should be ready to face the consequences as a person. Okay. Look, as for galancy in some, and it is not only the fact that it is destroying our lands and waters, bodies, but it has a direct economic implications on our general economic growth. Okay. Because Oshe Sika are buying a cha at the two or say they galancy in is something you can just imagine. Land reclamation, health implications, and a doctor for it me convincing say kidney problems be brea ababe drawing organ most of them is I mean your friend say illegal mining related health complications. Cancer. Just last week I've been at the Kolebu having a patient or sebi when you cancer. A full block in Krankete. I mean, it's just unthinkable. And the monies that are going in there, into as for the crime, it is something that nobody is now talking about. As a year near Busuena, a wound to many channel. At the end of the day, what are the issues? Oshe Emra Kwanso, one Emra Kwanso near the Nafano. Yeah. And you'll be now caught in the baby or say Monche won't to me Emra Kwanso. Okay. And yet, I think the trial process took about 8 to 9 months. 8 to 9 months, no. It is a fair period, relatively, for you to be heard. Okay. Within 8 to 9 months, no way to me and can was a man. Your mouth 10 years grandpa into me. At the end of the day, judgment has been given. What are the issues? Commentaries coming after the judgment. Say, or no wound to many certificates, or be, and or the man, and a nipano, and can you cry so could two, or quite galam say, or honke, or so, or land reclamation and all those things. fundamentally new crime say aban ede enkrata hye wunsem say Jennifer ko to minerals now akwako now the akwako hye nipa foforo nsem abra one aban eni hu nkomo. That's the fundamental breach. That component, that aspect of the constitution is so serious to the extent that constitution need the to mean president and kasansem.
Okay.
And the president can give it to a minister responsible for lands and natural resources. Why did the constitution do that? Well, constitution in him say it has a lot of implications. And today, this is where we find ourselves as a country. But I believe strongly, say it is unheard of. Say bia a better or mind we money than in the politics. It is something very bad. I'm a politician. I've been in politics for several years now. But I don't believe say bia a better or mind we money. It doesn't help us.
Okay.
Today, they want to me any the company ekoye wo ho. Is it good or bad? Okay. That is where we have to put the conversation. Samra boy, I personally don't know there. But enam nejuma oye wo ho ninti. We've watched videos in the news in samana air koso wo ho. And sometimes the impudence, like the audacity, na ye de bonini bino. It's not good. It is certainly not good.
Individual number modu chedi.
Yes. And look, and MPP4 teach you, my men can say MPP4 teach you.
Yeah.
Epese obia ehun say. And I say you did this a political victimization. And I'm using these words because no less a person than the General Secretary of MPP.
Yeah.
Etimi ejina ensemtrofo enima ka kire the whole world say Wun to me is a political prisoner. And I just want to be wrapping up on this, Agya Wusu. Why do you want us to believe that Wun to me is a political prisoner? What it means is that now for the past 8 years now, the former government say or more kungalan saying it was pure lip service. Let me remind you something. And commodity I am say ya can say in the past regime. Answer na amendments neighbor. The duration was
3 to 5 years.
It even started from 1 to 3 years, and later they made it 3 to 5 years. And a president then, President Nana Akufo-Addo, catch and say he was ready to put his presidency on the line to fight Galamsey. And he went ahead to increase the term from 15 years to 25 years. Fast forward, okay, said the then second deputy speaker as the first deputy speaker, Joe Wise, Ejina Parliament, Eka say no crown puno 25 years in the
yeah.
But government should adopt a policy say we should shoot you and kill you.
Yeah.
Inti, I want to ask a question today. Say 20 years now yama wun to me based on the law no. Any senka if we had taken the wise advice say we should shoot and kill. Na enenanki abowun to me sebi aboni tuo ekuna. Which one was best? What it literally means is that they're not omo kanina, they really didn't mean any of them.
Okay.
And then and just to conclude, Agya Wusu, I'm sure people and the commentary say NDC for being so some pine.
Yeah.
As if say Emra in Ghana. Say NDC for ye be. Not yet chioma.
Yeah.
Emrana ye di wun to me afasono. It's the same thing. That is why I started by saying that I believe that we should begin to personalize crime.
Okay.
Why we di bonne? No we di bonne.
Any party
may di bonne. If we see it from that angle, we are good to go as a people.
Yeah. Prince Mahmoud made us say. Alhaji Farouk, we Damona so original chairman.
Ano pay bichiano. Him say me program as manchiano. ebi obi na mention de no man ahode nimde na nimde man ndum ni benka ho na bebi a me MP honorable ya Patrick Boy ma obi na pa so bi chia no na me chia Ghana fo nyina o mo hwen wo tintankase no so na o mo tie ye nyina no chia bibia na me chia MPP fraternity ni nyina chia bibia na pa with regards to with regards to this chairman to me issue no always say na very say Prince Kasano na or can't be about chairman to me invitation I inviting the by Yoko or say whatever the first day I'm inviting the by no he should know say first day chairman to me by no nobody followed him yeah bloody case nobody followed chairman to me to that Yoko or whatever they invited him to come. The second day that he came there, nobody followed him. So the third day, they bundled him in a pickup. I'm going to call baby a young 3 days. And if I don't invite him, one by a son, but I invited him. First day, second day, third day. No, the pickup, unknown place, a young party for a whole original chairman. Young to me, nothing, because I share the sign. They be, so friend one bar and no buy and that no chin now, fine. But why invite him first day, waba? Second day, but third day, now bundled into pick up. We should know where our chairman is. You see, a man with the you must not can make me sick the maka and up to now because you mean you go on GD. We can makan on a say me could do a bicycle. A floor court, you do it better baby you. And the boss say I'm a did I will not come. So who say who hold the officer do what is needful. Near or my pay near the what no require just do. Who kwa song nafako mekai a baby a former president kufo a blue party for say abansika ye di abansika ne didi abansika no ho ya abansika nankasa ne ye fa ensanka enye dia your mind dia if you have your ways and means around the capital seed na dem out make dia for one do that but as in sika we me 10,000 that 4 years time no 10,000 na da ho so for so na say mama so mani beka ho mani beka ho e be ni obi dia de mfa me ho. So in this very context, such amount to me case, first day, or second day, or third day, near Bondon Shaka, I say young party for MPP4, you could meet Kubia, Tibia Mutiana be out. In general, interest say a chill be needed in the no. I studied some MPP4 a day, young solicitor at you net. The only people are mature, my idea of the case in your TikTokers are chum. Excuse me, the young communicators, and he will say a chum. Young communicators, because we are mindful of what we say. I can't sit here and insult one mama. I can never do that. To me, I'm a punk, I'm a pay. Or the bush and I'm a pay. So I will not directly insult somebody. But I'm to be able to the phone now. I'm going to say you're singing any phones. But I say in from at the moment you push a call, I'm doing too bad to be. So if you're on TikTok, you should be careful and mindful of what you say on air. But me as a communicator, I can sit here. I have never said, hey, that's what I'm doing. This voice to do. I'm going to say, if you know what you are going to say and what you are going to discuss, you have no problem. Okay. I'm not here to insult somebody. I'm here to discuss state issues. So the how a man and be discussing, I mean, I fear nothing about where I go. So that's the time of the case, no, SABS or an ADNG, but near follow case, he say it will take the right steps. Right. So when it will get to say so we have the space to follow the case. Some run our share some run yeah, she said that and as I can please no. And yes, say I know she am found. The I'm saying fight as we speak today. Near now, some pine can. It's true. The I'm saying is still going on. West cry and now say what I say a band or 20 more. Mercy, I'm saying if you slim guy or a rapper. No, do not so be or Chami, thank you, Mr. Or you so now because up to the China Galamsey is ongoing. Into the Casa Galamsey, Koso, I know bit Nagasa Galamsey and Koso Navi, I try to sort Galamsey is on West. Galamsey, I West. No fighting Galamsey, initially, now when I share your views on that. So I buy with men the chiefs now. And Kababwa. But up to now, imagine say you are too close. Now, O Shefa, O Jaho, O Yanema, O Kum for now, O Yesika. Na Galamsey abase mama me manya concession wenti na na oba adumeni usikania onje obaje but so come mo na every month aban no mo bi kakra wo confess mu a obi ji ahoho wa himfie wo kro mu a at least it will ease pressure until in that time so in papa no dwene o man no a Galamsey ya never no discan ba you can know how to hurt him okay cuz I go be some man e won go be so a amo Galamsey they don't accept Galamsey in their towns so in terms abanu be mu shem kakra no mu so mu hi ha mo sam goli enko a mo di omo han fimi di omo but e bi so over selfishness o man no be gu no de bejo yeri bo abedi na ehia no once any pana nya ni license obe galamsey ni de and de mfa no ho ye small scale mining no oye alobia oye de o de mfa no ho no ni se no hini no wagini de akra so me solving galamsey no enye me say John Dramani Mama His Excellency is trying to do his best but enye ejuma Daniels galamsey chama obi get say je case sao chama odu oye miner everybody knows chama to be a miner onye galamsey ya and India will defend it everywhere. And yet, they no starting galamsey or starting mining. But I say gather and sell, gather and sell. You dream poor, a authentic name be and I be I say gather and sell. And the yaya policy no. I'm not for this galamsey. But you galamsey. So amount to me I've never been on your galamsey. Or you miner. Our mining pits be brave. Or when all machines more than 300, 200, 400 in there. What's even called galamsey? Galamsey are the hustlers who are hustling for the after mining. Almost alcohol mine.
Now, so no man see. Where are the concern?
And now, moreover, case here, now finally it has come out. And no one can sample the mining at that time. Or they are more be.
But they are not going to say with him the crater and more be.
Fine.
Minister in Yahweh.
That's where the law comes in. That's where the law comes in. In America, fine, we are still going to do our appeals here called G3. Saying, I'm here, do my chairman who abandonable consider no in a way. Now, no one hand kakra. After all, they were had 15 years. 1 year crowing because of appeal or coin at the 40. Until we still plead to the government say, on consider Chama to my son black music initially no na or how na do say on my musica obo mine. Nipa no o si wa ye galamsey na wa mine no musica. Nti ade na ye musica mo. Wo na ko tun some. They no mine nya free. But as a man say you be less privilege, I go to feed him. But see your mind so sika we are about 5 years sika buti ya 2-3 sunye twa sika we at least you find your money baby conference but when you go to someone I don't see any benefit the country gets. I don't know so free of baba se betwe sika na be fan need that minimum but say finding the pan maybe akwan bi so no all twe sika bi a dey bo man no ho bra dan say man that sells ho na enini guase no ana edin no ana den ya jeli go be ba ni jail na koye talk of the town. Last week, last week, I didn't fully be, but Chama want to me. Oh my God, besides some don't mean
okay.
Only nipa. But I said, why Obia, the do the whole original chairman or the fraternity Kesiano MPP.
But I say, and be deterrent because, hey, me, I mean, impo, and I the original chairman, Wuska, or say now can one excavators, whatever. It may 20 years there. Say now, Quachan begin actually no or qua. The ambition say, hey. Me koni so ma 25 years old.
I don't make that day na ejeli na no be galamsey. Okay. That day na ejeli na NDC be galamsey. Inti why that day na ejeli na NDC be galamsey. Me say that day na ejeli na NDC be galamsey. Inti sa galamsey na ukase wo twaso no. Oti nipa na ukọ that day na obi so ye galamsey ni bi. Inti nipa ndo ntumi nchi no. Galamsey issues aba amanfo openly ye say NDC for gurus bi galamsey aba bontia ye nim. Omo ahini achi wo.
Okay.
And that's at least at times, no political witch hunting a craft, but it's a fact. You can't take it away because I'm not buying a woman, I'm saying that I better than commodity. I'll be there better than DJ. In the best, abandon channel, yeah. Anyhow, you can do there. Sometimes it's more than 20 years in the world. Then share means to, yeah, oh, never.
You bet you munina sani ya prosecuted ya.
And then munina but sana uka say to serve at the different standards. And because that may be now kwa busu ebiso galamsey.
Matthias.
And how can this serve as
a bit on that?
You know, I think say me blame will be out. Okay. Abugina upon the start you 2022 and a review. So the catcher said to me, I'm contaminating.
Yeah.
I won't say a forest and I will. Nti ho na community free ba.
Okay.
Ono any party minister na started by. It no na meti say omo ka me as a person no your man sentence no e to me so. They say oh wow. Who to be how? At least no na me say bi anka man be 5 years bi san na me dey ho no.
Okay.
So I say but you see party na ka so power na ka say na started process no. So akonta man say e japade. And the president Beka say, and then it's the minister and the president, you know, one they can cry. President, no, now appointing minister, no.
Yeah.
Minister also say the assassination is also all stress one. Always away minister, not assassination. We are langas.
We are minister now assassination. We are langas.
Yeah. Because who now only be assassinated. Mean your occurrence, monitor the assassination.
Okay.
So that say. It will to make it I think say even though sentence like 2 hours but see emra
okay
nabi but a whole long one the law akasa or gone of the law akasa kofo jeli no chatu and they say this say timi jeli chatu dia everybody can go to sawom
okay
that one they want to make it clear say or gone of the law kwati mi condemn dia and the obia betimi akwa condemn bi and you find say or if I say that jeli you know and this need to get them see and that's of course say get them say so try they are still doing it
Omoye,
they are still doing it of course
yeah
just a quick one maybe ananka
ansananka bia techiwe ba no ye be budget ndi because no ntina
but one thing that is important is that nka me be bo the techi e kan is say you see contradiction on the fight against Galamsey no ade a amoyen right from the previous government and me kai pass and nam sensem bi say suntina Ghana for binom e de beka as president na Akufo-Addo clearing agent me na me minister or the land issues at the assembly me na me wo from ho me na me nenam enrem ho me na me nenam forest mu ho me hu say asimesi company no ye illegal mining e forest and we should remember that once upon a time no na a crime say obeko forest reserve akoye mining
yeah
and am there suntina won't meet me call forest mu akoye mining it was because the previous government edane emrano say afedi e ma hu tumi say obetimi ewura forest akoye mining. So you see, there was a deliberate attempt
to free him
to do illegal mining.
Okay.
Yes, because I didn't think a forest are at all, even in God's own creation, no. Or she share the no. Or she share and said there are some places yin jamanenka just to support the living of the other part of the world. That is how the framers of the constitution who say, ye kuafo, ye miners.
Yeah.
But yentimi fire mining na ko ye kua and mining.
Okay.
Inti ahade ye twa to ho, eni kwan so owremu ko ye say. Who turned that law? It was the previous NPP government.
Okay.
O minister abeka say asimesi oye akasa chairman no ejina ha say. Within some few months no we Pierre Babekase, and you know the president's statement at the time no was very bad because he did not generally deny what was happening, but he specifically said, Akwanta mining was not engaged in illegal mining in the forest, and he repeated it again. So what in American say, and you see the whole argument say NDC for ye Galamsey na for once upon a time. Chama wuntum na asefo na no mo ye Galamsey no they are associated to a political party and they na ato mo
say emra no mudi nyesa
yes okay inti I mean I if and there are substantial evidence nipa na ya and how emra no ne be den ebedi what we should all be calling for ne say emra no enye eduma if your argument is that people are still you start prosecuting for murder. Can you remember?
Meda cost.
Still meda cost.
Inti say so mudia and obedi.
That's what is
in effect, Mate Prince. But quickly, Enra budgets na finance minister ebe ready no. We minority can be there. Say half year performance. They say best year. I say best in years. Revenue track spending down. 0 areas name interest drops. Interest rates near the nyina and say at to come. But we say we nya foforo. Back on na oben sakra kakra yo. Na tachi adwadifo be kwaba dollar no ba bi ejina me hu se enra me send you video bi a wonu no maposo kan ana ya be man fa maposo kan fo ne bi so munya dollar na say banks ne ma mo dollar mo di trade say ya na
yeah I mean sanchi wa hwefo nyina bi na me che adwadifo nyina abuso kan na da honom no se dia me kire mo se obu ho a oni store abuso kai ebi ho a obato ade wo ho abuso kan say ho so say residents nse okwa abusoka na ukwa interview bi a obisa ne say ne store wa hin the store di the same if I know na wetiri ankyere wa I say oni ho no obetiri am wrong impression na wrong information so what you say dollar de ewo ho ba ade ba ko ne say dollar no ho no o pe dollar no amount na wo hia no unya ba buchi for the witimi the one na etimi ama de wo pe no that's the difference and now me no kasa we dollar abuchi kra po and abuchi kra ka abuchi kra no mo ton dollars ya 11.2 11.2 ukuta dollar na ko sa abuchi wa 11.2 and 12 cedis
okay
it means say dollar no maybe a triple down no ama e ba for so what I say now no what to say e beautiful e complete beef say bia ye dollar no eshi what's the beautiful complain here yeah because dollar no e be do 17 no e dwedi na do na collapse here no I ba be do 14 na aba ne sesa ya aban fofo yi ba ya o de ba ba be do 9 cedis no
yeah
we say 9 cedis actually let's go back to 10 cedis e just for 1 year enti ama ye dwedi for no yetimi ye projection
okay
yetimi kan ya ma more e ba e na dwedi ni bia so no ye kire o mo say baby edu no obi an project no from 10 to 12 10 to 12 the be say e ko 12 now it will not affect you
okay
say the catch members ni na up to today dollar between 11.5 11.6 11.7 I do 12 the baby is baby baby about there ubenye na asesa no
okay
every so ukunya 11.5 and 11.8 fine but embro 12 cedis eti aban we buy no sise na ode buy no ama ahodu economy no magwedi fo bibiri den aboa omo
okay
yes policy rate o buy no o me find from 28%. Policy rate ya na anytime interbanks interest rate
okay
and inflation you see I'm not so maybe aba be do 14%
okay.
from 28
and ejina so
ejina
okay
and inflation is from 23 no aba be do 5 point something
5.6
which is very good na and I'm for say video bi a me hu abusu kai say aba we buy no ni yetimi kan ya mamba ya make am sa video no man o abusu kan do but enye ne kre ba abusu kan be containers a e ba sisi ya
okay
so ta say eto no o hwe budget ya you got to force the buy na sa media budget na na your expectation there na e down because na na here kese no
yeah
or the buy na here adwuma
eno ne
exchange rate no
any inflation
no
okay
policy rate
yeah
ba na here adwuma dida
okay
it na e that affect yes too much even though Oliver Trust we need more but na ne ye kakra no women bank no
women development bank
yes one na ye ba pass on touch here wa me hu say by end of the 2026 no o be commence na o mu di sika 400 million Ghana cedis there as a seed money dia to
okay
o ka back tax ho say go for do na edoji into
yes
60% no what's the bia me catch them say one na ya register o GRA no ye 14 million no about 14 million no ye ya ngasa willingly ye working and I say ye file a tax no e 6 million
okay
8 million no more efa
are they into business
they are obitu ade so tuato
okay
on tuato so that say
yeah
that say e baba nsa na on be isu electronic system so that say
yeah
on the number and the one chimo no bibisa say oben the say there amisha that time no former commissioner general GRA sa compliance na wo ho amanko fofo abetra store no o ka sa issue no
yeah
se bi
so they ready for them pen
o bi no the band because o ka to wan chire mu achire ye ntia se but omu chire ibu ni ba me se bi no the bad ya ende ehudu enya adwuma o marketing
mu mpene
dabi
ba ye jam so amunkotua
dabi dwedini o se bi o edwodifo ni bi wo ho a o se marketing nya ye informal sector obo ndi continue to se bi o etino officers na se come here omutimi educate edwodifo no
okay
up to today they still need education marketing no obo wa ndi continue to na wakasa wa be file tax and so wa be ultimi etimo adwuma no so what I say mo engage the associations no ye ni gina be kwabo ye ni ni ye crofo no aboso kan we are more than 50,000
okay
so what I say
yeah
etino o hwe no ka ba se o be ye reform support one no very good because lipos na e support one no sa public AI no e ya dia as many
Republican AI.
Yeah, Republican AI.
But wouldn't be still kick against.
So we are so in Ghana for
say a man or man boy the world that's no bad duty ni bona kosoro.
Oh, we are Ghana for.
Okay.
Maybe a Ghana ni. We are making on say a yadia a bebo man in the sense say. Okay, we are messing by no. Wa watch it say you akro for more port one na no extortion. So okay, sa video no.
Yeah.
Owura egba by one can say paperless report one. Do you know what paperless no? There be a fiscal cash could go for me same.
Okay.
Ba anye dwuma owo mo hono mo they could knife anye dwuma enti yempe software bi a betumi afrag go for mo bo mane kro no.
All right. Taxes and taxes.
The implementation na omo de buy no we need to is no mo 1.2 billion.
Okay.
And the budget is omo $300 million through the AI
system.
So we are Ghana ni. That's what for money. That's the sense we can do go for bottom. Then abai no afa kwa bi so egiskara mama na.
Yeah.
Only akono mo na baso.
Okay. But that's it.
Only abi bi sa mo na baso.
Abasobo.
Men demase o mo na baso.
Abasobo.
Eti minister no ya to force no. Dubasuma wa be ye omo man Ghana no. Ma be catch you. Eyo ma bi po anka se ke ye kogu na ide ni pulechi. Ye dana se wa ya de.
Okay.
$300 million. Egugu go for bottom free no mudi. Kennedy e kan wasem ya ye ka se ogigi ya akwa kodwi yes 51 billion Ghana cedis we.
Yeah.
So also buy na say scan ko meje gugu to manka say ke yes scan.
That me that say time me nche e ma yeso nche 5 minutes no. Prince on the budget.
Yeah. So just to start with sika eye ade bia ehia discipline. Even though say former president na Akufo-Addo ka say scam pair off.
Scam pay
epic scam pay the.
Yeah.
My position is that scam pair off. And also ya de assembly aye nyine no na mpenyifo eka.
Ebi so siska on tabai.
Aha, inti flowing from that analogy says scam pair off no. Money requires discipline.
Okay.
And I am starting from that point to commend current finance minister. Ebia on the side no metimi akase meka omo ye kansem esinechi.
Okay.
Say we mia enema mu too much amayen. But if you look at the broader picture now,
yeah,
and you flow from this analogy now, me make it say sika pair off, but sika rather requires discipline now. And I will say yebo na baso.
Okay.
And I think his choice is one of the best choices our President Mahama etimi aye in terms of the appointment. Why am I saying this? Yenam kwan bi so. It's a journey we have embarked on as a country. And we have a history.
Okay.
Once upon a time, na enema te sen. Ena ye di nkomo ye enema no etimi aba bedu sen. I think once you do the analysis based on that tangent, no, say enye abasobo na obebo na, and I say obebo abaini na, it will be difficult for you to just poo-poo. Enye se bi ame kai Ghana for any edumaye for yaw. It got to a point it was extremely difficult to even have a conversation with government about the economy.
Okay.
I am funny saying a previous time government na and I may abai munipa.
Yeah.
O friend me say memra studio hano.
Now we have
by now my course sub papers but I feel so comfortable because it might not be the best place we want to be.
Okay.
But so far progress now ye making it is very, very, very
budget ne sound of practical.
Very practical. And I see my argument and commonly now meeting, I want to tie it around the discipline within the economy.
Okay.
Right. Today, we were here when an economy was rushed to IMF. At the time that the government was assuring us there was no way we were going to go to IMF. Echo FIFA and some any laws to say you live in a safe for the so and all so that. At the end of the day, we went there. What were the conditions? Saying we should do 1.5% of GDP and all that. just by getting 3 billion. Abranaa, within that same period, no, because there was no discipline, no, the monies that we were losing was far more than the idea who could Shemu and the IMF to take. So you see the discipline I'm talking about. Because we're not disciplined as a people.
We were losing a lot.
We were losing a lot and chasing very little. Right?
Yeah.
That wasn't what we went in for. Okay. What were the major indicators? Look, sometimes baby Amiye Juma Sisi we directly regulate and work with MSMEs in Ghana. You see, baby Owono, that is where the economy really exists.
Okay.
And yet there were papers on baby Owono. That is where it exists. Any other related markets. It got to a point because our economy was import dependent economy. No, you're required to change money to go and bring goods. That is what our economy has been on for several decades. It was extremely difficult to change because of the exchange rates. And we have been told over and over and reminded that whatever the economy looks like, if you are unable to regulate exchange rates, you are not doing anything. Okay. And at the end of the day, no, and you say check dollar number they now one CDO. It's about the stability to send your car, you know, because every business requires planning. Yeah. The stability, and over the years we have enjoyed a relatively stable exchange rate. Okay. No two ways about that. Inflation, look, I recall in 2024, it got to a point. Look, once we had Samno in the early 80s, late 70s, and it appeared as if it wasn't real. It repeated itself in 2024. You weren't too sure of how much you buy it in the evening. It happened to us. Into ene meteho nasa minim se o mekoton so 1 cedi. I can budget that at least for the next 2-3 months. I hear so 1 cedi 10 pesos. Yeah. And I say meet me within 1 cedi now. Okay. What else do we describe as a healthy economy? We are not out of the woods yet. We are not out of the woods yet. But I'm very confident, say, once we are guided by, what's the name? Discipline. And then, adia bakwa ato force and anasa aban nutimi etmedia chetre yesika sem amane jinaye. The fact that aban agency bia entimi nkoboka embeto aban no so abra only finance minister enkomo. Inti onu ne kura yesika. Meda edwuma bia no na masoria komma contracts via na the government na chi no. Okay, also person will spend 8 cedis. Bra, my mention ubetumi ana mama ho kwan say. Once there is discipline, we can have our economy. Economy na grow financial discipline. Discipline, that is just where my
financial discipline dey be this.
With regards to me, bra penny, we say baby owo no eso won nkitom. Me kokompe more than 20 years. O kokompe. Me nkola machiro mo adwuma. Nkola e bra so kan musua o kokompe no mo ba so kan e be business. Okay. So that business mo na me wo nti I know e be o kan no. O say enye emfasudie na e ba no. Ba effect a enya wo Ghana fuo mu. E na e problem no. Now to forcing I go read the budget and ask yourself taxes are hen we introduce account. We introduce taxes abeka ho. And then secondly, Ibra Penny kasa no kan about the profit ayenya wa port in terms of AI. So we are borrowing. We are on the road of borrowing. Nancy na force in parliament ko di nkomo bebre so person ko bisia. Ebe boa a friend is free SHS
during the budget review said he is not in a hurry for any external borrowing.
He's not in a hurry, but I kind plans who say that's what can sustain or help our free SHS we na ekoso. Okay. And now the down in external didn't borrow any money. Internal generated funds no the or free SHS. One borrow sika for free SHS specifically. And I say, who see inflation? I always say, let me come baby. I said, John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, he is one of the most luckiest presidents on this earth, as we will say, because within power, at times the obedi no need the 8 years as power no. So nyame anye we ma won pa bi antumi nya sade we ma. And legacy o person oja. Me de bia meka say enye wo na wo ti soro no obo mo wase no. I don't going to help you to leave that very legacy. That's a question mark. And with this inflation being national or 3 point something, I believe 5 point something. GDP okay. Dollar stabilized more than 1 year. It's a record. Why are they? But bisa won't say Ghana for team for no effect to Musuana. We are learned and we know. So GDP okay. Dollar okay. Fuel. We manage fuel. A corner bar. We understand. Fine. Bisa won't say. Into Ghana for net home, because inflation, GDP, and whatever, then any effects. And say, either, no man very stable like it has been done, it has been not, but some commodities possible. No, the brew or hire too. No, the brew or hire too. Excuse me, most of the time, we are, make sure we buy penny for no more ammonia and muscle. Every time I meet the young NDC guys, Yati ammonia and muscle. Yati, last time I heard Bandy, he said, Bandy, you of all people, we will respect you, possible to let you say, Yati ammonia and muscle. What tell you, if you are umbrella. Umbrella in your tone. Yen teso. Rather you increase it. If I would do a favor, say peacock. Peacock ya two. If we have rice, I begin system Ghana 70 Ghana and so man bisa for and so. So we should be specific on what we are saying. Nigga say we are stabilize the economy, no. That's the Ghana for complaining. What are Ghanaians enjoying today? If your tariffs to cost so what people to pay poor style of governance with there. A lot of Ghanaians have understood. Say fine. Na the best so sana mi bra kanu ukoto ada na pay bi enyi na sanfo CCI bi abetuna to with 10 cedis enyi bi na 10 cedis say good but other side so we wo other side inti governance no still at force in aya dey bound for so count because the budget he read was hollow our profits benefit kitikiti enya main campaign messages main manifesto we go campaign ahe so no obo ho ahe so no obo level 104 fees emission betia ahe no mutumitua o because they have Bachomeba. No. The back of school and say, Mr.
We are dealing with academic years. Program that started the first academic year now. Our program that started. All those ones have been paid.
Prince, and Americano. Also, you level 100 fees and mommy. Now you 10,000. That's what you are 10,000. That's all. So also you are nominal fight and from here. Then you have to pay outright. I want to do no, but say me bro documents receipts say Colorado school now. Nearby 3,500. It's got a 2 with hostel fee almost 10,000.
No, hostel fee.
And I make us a meet I say and I make us fees in making the point. Fees in can be interjected but making the point. Fees in and I see I now Free SHS, if we 24-hour economy, I told you, I don't remember, and so you won't be baby. My first Women's Bank at the Hefa. Any other disease coders program near the Adena. How many years in it? Oh, sir, Bosch, I share a campaign, and I'm going to avoid the day. Bosch, I'm going 6 months, 1 year. How about 1.5 years down the line? Now we say about free SHS, at the Nano. Otherwise, you're not more the no matter how bad it was. Or this so 24-hour economy and no name about tiny youth. I told him John the man Mahama His Excellency. And I know up to now other name Rampono. When we see it, even the office that initiated 24-hour economy is not doing 24-hour economy. Office level 5 no upon. How can you initiate 24-hour economy for the youth to get job to do? Into 133 million they ain't country. Campaign walk up and our Ghana for some mayor A. Obama any youth. I'm telling you, our youth are stranded out there. Our youth are very many people I mean now. 2, 3, 4 million bond, but then you have also. What do you use as a beam or container? As a beam so container. But brings it's easy now. And every year we should know say a month for university. A very much say Moyama. It's a man creative jobs on our can't say creative jobs, no big
Nina cover big no sikasem. So when to me and financially disciplined.
Discipline like we are all saying discipline here. Like I started, I said it. So yeah, they say stabilizing dollars, inflation, GDP and everything, a ball minor fine. But what are the effects? What Ghana for? What does it mean? What does it bring on the table?
And a step ahead.
A step ahead. But 1.5 years in wow.
Okay.
1.5 years in wow. And it is a 1.5 not step ahead. Right. We are still looking upon friends to force and say, our man say 133. Now you know 133 no so.
Okay.
And then my youth na Jumaye. Now you want because youth no because of lack of job.
Mate. That you 1 minute.
Yeah, can say.
Yeah.
And I'm saying now for Lucas say I say omoba no edisi buy no ache maybe we ache. Mama quick one. Mama can say be back community. I say benchmark value no. Now that promise you first year one, second year, third year no implement here.
Okay.
So sometimes no we to can be if you are not wait very nothing.
Okay.
Because over here until another by 2019 no implement here the third year. Yeah, third year. Or the year no say free so. Okay. So that's it. And I'm financial discipline. Financial discipline no. Fine. On the ma is ka some year. But don't forget say gold bond so kuchi kakra. Okay. And a GRE Commissioner General and then support. So no lazy na kind more economy so. Okay. It's factors no there. And your financial discipline but others maybe exactly.
Yeah. Now say good board the response about minority.
Yeah, good board is you feeling
yeah, but just to follow from Bibia Techidia Besimo, it's all part of the discipline now. Once upon a time, we allowed gold to be one of the commodities near smuggled so much out of the country. So what happened? Now people were involved, businessmen, that was what people were doing to the extent that maybe Crampo, my businessman, be accused president and Akufo-Addo, that he was aiding him to take gold out of the country and so forth. So discipline now make come one seven. Okay. Yen fam ran to gold no. Send ye be who be bound for so ama economy no. That is one. It has not deviated from the discipline. Even Atufosin's believe or the government's believe that we shouldn't just allow Bank of Ghana to do full determination of what happens to the economy. No? He went to Parliament to amend the Bank of Ghana Act to allow the ministry to be part, so that now in Shishaya abide the bed just to make sure say. At least I think that
also no or can about Bibia Nado Anye. Ye can first thing first. When you comparison set, I mean, ye 1.5 years, 1.5 years. Okay. 1.5 years and then Nado. Yeda na no Ghana 42 faces. Oh yeah. 1.5 years and the Bunda Money Mahama. 24-hour economies everywhere, billboards everywhere. Youth G2, parents G2 1.5 years on 1 year. It's not about the 4 years. You got 1.5 to 1.5. 1.5 to 1.5 years.
Next time, by the only say by into father in Hong Kong. Exactly.
We had 120 days. Yeah. We make sure say tax in Equia, we in the free
and or buy budget.
Budget. Oh yeah.
Just do the tax. Oh yeah.
TV XYZ. The more you know, and pay that was maybe a wow. Yeah, sorry. Now, yes, sir. Prince Mahmoud, Deputy CEO Ghana Enterprise Agency, or a Deputy Regional Organizer, Upper West Region, and pay Prince Ebekayo. Prince Edasa pay. Samson Alhaji Farouk Osman Mensa, Farouk Ekoi, as constituency organizer. On the constituency, or Kaikwe Central, Mo Bruno Passa. The better luck next time. Also by a member of the MPP and a Techiado. Techiado, a public relations officer, Apuso Kinds Papers, dealers, Techiso Bekan, or say no dollar and baby agent. I am more Tokoswa, it's me more planet kama. Yet the Nedi Besia. Na ba we chichini benje o hwe and nem yoko brebo baako na meja baako mba nkran o ma no eja ahemfo mpema sem baako eye ni data je krodua ene o hyenefa festival data anope we hwe well na enye kese mfama nyina medini Agya Wusu ansan Abranaa so ena metena me de bro Ralph ene crew na aka na no passe mu na hyehye bibia na yetimi aba betena edibesi nyame adoma dase na ebese hye na edi abro